Hey, what's going on, everybody? TaylorMade Hoops, live and direct with you once again, coming to you with TaylorMade Hoops Coach's Corner. Today, I have a very, very special guest, Coach Stephanie Cooper, head women's coach at University of the Virgin Islands. You heard what I said, baby. The University of Virgin Islands. Hey, we're going global on TaylorMade Hoops Coach's Corner. Coach Cooper, how you
Right.
doing this morning?
I'm doing good. How are you? Thank you for
I'm
having
doing
me.
I'm doing good, Coach. I'm doing good, Coach. Man, hey, I got to tease everybody, Coach. I know you probably didn't put this down on your resume, but Coach Cooper, man, was still is family was a player evaluated analysis for TaylorMade Hoops. Man, she used to go cover some games on the women's side for me. I hate that she went on. It's a good thing. I'm glad she went on to filling your dreams coaching at the collegiate level, but I sure miss you, Coach. I don't have nobody to cover those girls like you did for me, Coach.
I know, and this is a good year for Dallas hoops, and Texas, they're coming back on the map. So I'm excited, and I'm missing my Dallas. I'm missing home too.
Oh yeah, Coach. Well, Coach, we're gonna go ahead and get started, Coach. Let me ask this, Coach. Most people want to know this. Today we're gonna talk about the objectives, the points of conversation. We're gonna talk about the present state of college basketball, the NIL, the transfer portal, the new NCAA changes, like the elimination of the letter of intent, cutting of the transfer portal windows, and also we're gonna talk about things that Coach Cooper looks for in the recruit, and she's also going to talk about any advice that she may have for young coaches. We're going to start off with the first question, Coach. Where did you grow up in your athletic and educational journey, Coach Cooper?
Yeah, so I grew up in Dallas. I started out in DISD, and then middle school we moved to Garland, Texas, which is where I finished at South Garland High School. Which South Garland High School back then, that's where the athletes went. That was a good time, for high school athletes in GISD. For me, it was myself and Jeremy Hart. We had I can't remember. Oh, he's in the NBA. He went to the NBA now. Um, but it was just a good sports class for us and just kids, man, having fun and meeting through basketball, like just out at the courts till late. They had YMCA, and we would just be out there all night, really. So fell in
Oh,
love
yeah.
with the game of basketball from there, and then was pretty good at it. I got injured early. And so I knew when by the time it came around for college, I didn't have any offers or anything like that. So I went to school with the intent to be a coach, and to get my degree in that, which was in kinesiology along that same route, and got my teaching certificate and certification. So started teaching. Um, Spruce High School, Raleigh Sanchez. He was the
Yes,
first
sir.
principal. Yep, first principal that took a chance on me. Him and the AD over there at the time, Elbert Hamilton. Shout out to him.
Yes,
But
sir.
started at Spruce, and the Greedy Grove back then, it was tough. But for first year teaching, first year coaching, it taught me everything I needed to know to get to where I am now. So most of the programs that I've taken were like new programs or less developed programs trying to get on the rise, just get the pieces together. And it's the same thing here at UVI, which we'll get to that. But that's really my journey. So I didn't have a non-traditional route of getting into coaching, which most people played collegiately, went pro, and now, they were just into it from the game. But for me, it was intentional.
Okay. Well, Coach, man, I always like to let the viewers know the background on the coaches because, like you said, Coach, a lot of coaches speak about it. It's a journey, Coach.
Hmm.
Coaching, man, it's a journey. And to be honest, we're here, here to share our journeys to hopefully help somebody else, inspire somebody else, Coach. I got to get you, Coach. Hey, man, them were people over there at Spruce High School. I taught them at Spruce High School on two occasions,
Right.
man. So I know how it is. But like I just had two coaches, Coach Bernard and Coach Rodney Washington, who both coached at Spruce High School on the boys' side, and they both said the same thing that you probably gonna say, Coach. A great group of kids, man. Once you get to know
Yeah.
them, they know that you care. They'll run through a brick wall for you, Coach.
Hmm.
But they got to know you care. They got to know you care.
Right. Yeah. And I still talk to all the kids. And so I think that's one thing, not all of them, but from every class. You know, it's a few that have kept in touch, and they know that I'm always a call away. All of them know that, and I'm a call away. But that's the thing. We're just shaping young people.
Oh no, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt, Coach. Hey, once again on TaylorMade Hoops Coach's Corner, I got the legendary Stephanie Cooper, head coach at University of the Virgin Islands. Coach, let me ask this, Coach. What role did athletics play in your life growing up? How important was playing sports?
Sports was it got me focused. So I already had the discipline, you know. I had parents that instilled that. We had curfew and made sure we did our homework and stuff on time. But it really gave me something to reach for, look forward to, um, and keep me focused in the academics. Like I was one of those kids, learning came easy for me, but I didn't really apply anything. So I was like maybe a C average student, you know, B, easy B's, easy C's. Could have always been A's. And, you know, the teachers, I think that was one thing that we would always talk about back then is um to just do better or like apply myself more academically. And again, just having a not focused mindset on that. I was a C student, and that'll come back when we talk about recruiting. But basketball, when I started playing, and I was like, okay, I gotta have this kind of average. Well, now when I'm looking at the colleges and the admissions, well, they want to see 3.0 or 2.5s, 3.0s. So by the time it clicked, I was already a senior in high school. You know what I mean? So kind of floated by the first 2 years. Junior year started getting really serious. And like, okay, this is something I want to do. And by senior year, the grades were just C's. So it's like I got into school on a probationary. My first year was academic probationary at Texas Women's University, and did really good then. And so I was like, okay, all A's after that. But by that point, it was already kind of late for me to backtrack when it came to looking at more scholarship money and just a lot of things that I missed out on just by being like average. But that's what basketball and sports did for me. Of course, it was something fun, you know, had a lot of friends, had popularity from it, and that was pretty cool too at that age. But that's why I agree with the NIL deals. Like if I could have had a deal, I would have had a deal for real and not even seriously. So it's like go get your money when you can. So I respect it, I understand, but that's what basketball did for me. It kept me focused. And then like really narrowed down on academics and like, okay, I can do a lot of things in the future through the game of basketball and even traveling. And there's just so much at the time I wish that I knew. But I didn't, but learned along the way. And now I'm able to give back and let these athletes know.
Oh no, Coach, you touched on a very good experience, Coach. We talked about the journey. That's what our job is as a coach
Yeah.
to share our experiences. You know, sometimes they listen, Coach. Sometimes they don't. Just like we did. But hopefully, they'll listen to 10% of what you try to tell them or what have you. But you're right about that as far as the academic portion. Sometimes you may wait until it's too late to realize that you don't want kids to miss out on opportunities. Like you said, Coach, mess around your senior year, and then you start to really kind of figure out the academic game or what have you. So you brought us some very,
Yeah.
very good points, Coach. Oh yeah. Well, hey, once again, man, as you can tell me, I'm having a good time hanging out on the coach's corner with Coach Stephanie Cooper, head coach at the University of the Virgin Islands. Coach Cooper, let me ask this, Coach. You spoke of it a little bit, Coach, but can you elaborate a little bit more? When did you realize you wanted to be a coach?
I realized I wanted to be a coach on my second knee surgery. So I tore my ACL early, like 8th grade, and that was the first tear. So, you know, I did rehab, worked through it, still played AU ball, still played high school ball. And then I had my second tear, like my 10th, when I was in 10th grade on the other knee. And so by that time, it was like, okay, something else has got to give, you know, like what other avenues would I be able to still be around the game of basketball and get in? So it was really just teaching and coaching.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And you said something very important. Every man, I bet you out of the 10 coaches I've interviewed, at least 8 of them said the reason why they got into coaching was either because of an injury
Right.
all because going to college, and sometimes just be real, coach. They seen that they probably won't go make it to the NBA or whatever the case
Hmm.
may be. So they say they start kind of moving, sitting on that bench.
Yeah.
They started to kind of reevaluate things or what have you, coach. So no, I always like to know what kind of got coaches into coaching, that coaching bug. But let me
Yeah.
ask
Well,
this, coach.
even now, like now that I've been coaching, when I was at Florida Memorial, I got into broadcasting and
Okay.
analyzing games. And so I was like, okay, I can do this as well. So this is another avenue that now I'm able to branch out and get into calling games.
Well, know what, coach? I think that's one reason why we kind of miss coach, because we kind of think alike as far as that goes,
Hmm.
coach. As far as that, I try to tell coaches this, just like we tell our players, the ball's gonna quit bouncing. And the same thing for
Right.
coaches, we got to realize that you still can have an impact, influence on the game without coaching, without X and O's being on the sidelines. What you just said, hey, you go into commentating, or you can go into the media, you go into play, the evaluation, scouting, different stuff like
Right.
that. So to be honest, I just try to, coach, to be honest, try to be example, to coaches, to show them that, hey, you know what, sometimes, the X and O's part, the coaching jobs, things like that may not go as you plan, but you still can have an influence, on the game. And I tell people all the time that that's the reason why I kind of continue doing what I'm doing. I've been blessed, every year I get offered, coach positions, but if it's not the right position, I'm not going to take it, because I feel I have a more better opportunity to influence more kids doing what I'm doing now if I was, with one particular program or school, so great
Yeah.
point about it, coach.
Thanks you. But that's something I always commend about you too, because you made that shift. And I still remember when, we had the conversation, you're like, I'm about to get out of this field and get into
Mm-hmm.
the evaluating. And that's a big leap, and I think you were one of the first that I seen in Dallas to like really make that transition, but be so not vocal, but just out there because we knew who you were. You know what I mean? So that was really cool for you. And then when you brought me into like that, I really appreciated that. And that was one thing, because it is more to it. We have the evaluating, we have, I do all my summer camps and my combines and
Mm-hmm.
things like that in the
Mm-hmm.
summer. And so it's so many things that we can do, and I'm just blessed to be able like to travel with it now, get these contracts and like get the money back to it, because not everybody's out there, Don Staley, getting $1 million contracts. So unfortunately with education, we still need to do a better job with paying women in sports, and
Mm-hmm.
coaches and stuff like that, but it's getting there. And I think the
Mm-hmm.
WNBA is kind of doing a good job at that too. But just going back to the point, like when you made that transition to evaluate it, it's so many things that we can do. So I
Oh,
appreciate that part, because that took courage. And I was like, if he can do it, all right, like I could do it eventually. But until then, I'm gonna get to be on his team and whatever he needs so I can learn from you. So it's been good.
oh no, coach, and I'm glad, coach. Like I say, if I was able to help you anywhere in your journey, coach, serious, hey, it's all good on my end, coach.
Yeah.
But But now, coach, just back to that, coach. That's very, very important, coach. That coaches, don't realize that like you said, you can have the impact. And a lot of times, like you said, at the end of the day, we're in the people business, and we also in the business of helping kids and what have you. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just the way, like you said, to be another way to be able to help kids, to reach their goals. And we all play. I always say we all play an important part, whether it be the high school, college coach, the skills trainer, the AAU coach, the evaluators, the media, what have you.
Right.
So I tell everybody, I just like to be a part of these kids' journey, coach. That's what wakes me up, fuels me, makes me happy. Them allow me to be a part of the journey. When I see them, they very receptive. Nowadays it used to be kids that know who I was. Coach
Mm-hmm.
Cooper, problem when you was doing it for me, walk up to kids, get everybody looking at you like, who are you? Now it's like
Yeah.
now they're looking for me. And now if I'm not at a
Right.
game, I'll get something in my DM or something on
Right. They
Twitter
sending you
or
the
something.
schedule. Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that, coach. Hey, coach, man, you won at the game, things like this. So real good stuff, coach. Hey, once again, on TaylorMade Hoops Coach's Corner, I got Coach Stephanie Cooper, head coach at the University of the Virgin Islands. We just talking about a little bit of basketball, her journey. Coach, let me ask you this, coach. You spoke of it a little bit, but how many years have you been coaching, and where are some of the other spots that you coached at, coach?
This is my 14th year of coaching and teaching. So I started at Spruce High School, Then I went to Faith Family, and then
Okay.
from there, that's when I really started getting into the training of just players and like the AU part circuits, and then with some WNBA players. Then Duncanville, when I was at Duncanville with Coach Kathy Self Morgan, which was the first high school championship program I was a part of, by 2017. And Paul Quinn, actually, I was there when I was at Spruce. So I
Okay.
had high school and coaching experience within the first 2 years of me finishing college. So Paul Quinn was a great experience as well. And that was another thing, just building that program back from their previous suspension over there with um dang that coach. I forgot his name, but and the
Coach McKinney.
AD.
Coach
No,
McKinney. Mhm.
actually let me look it up. I'll come back to it. But from Duncanville, where did I go? Grand Prairie, and then
Mhm.
Florida Memorial University, and now I came back to Dallas for a year, and then here the University of Virgin Islands. So it was some times. I think my longest time was like Grand Prairie. I was there for 4 years,
Okay.
and so that was like my baby of being back in Texas and really seeing that program go from last to like we made
Mhm.
playoffs, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
And those kids that were there, like they just worked, and so I think it's something exciting when you have the kids they have the skill level, but it just takes a certain type of well, group of people, and they have to all high school is different, everybody has to be on point, like from the athletic director, the principals, they got
Oh
to
yeah.
support the sports,
Oh
because
yeah.
a lot of times if they don't, it's like they just hire whomever or
Mhm.
move whoever
Mhm.
into that position that just
Mhm.
wants that extra stipend. um
Mhm.
and it's a lot of time. High school was very time consuming, um for the day to day, for the athlete, and then plus teaching. But yeah, those are the places that I've been. And they just all got me up to here. And even now it's the goal for me is to be professional WNBA 6 months, working that time frame in that season, and then FIBA. So my journey isn't done. I still got a lot to go, and I'm under 40 right now. So it's gonna be good. And I'll be here for a while, develop some national players that I get to work with right now, which is really cool. And same thing, just bringing in some athletes who may have been under the radar. They had the skill, but through services like TaylorMade Hoops and others, able to put certain kids on the maps that usually wouldn't get it if they're not at the Duncanvilles in those places. And so when it comes to like recruiting, which we'll get to, those are the kind of athletes I look for. But now I just got a good group of kids here at UVI. Um, and it's gonna be a special season, so I'm ready for this too. But that was my coach's journey. Along the way too, coached with the summer camps. So Nancy
Mhm.
Lieberman, every summer I go back and do a camp with her, the Mavericks, the Dallas Wings, and like Recruit Nation, which would do some camps and stuff in Texas too. So it's all year round for me, and coaches, basketball is life in all aspects.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I know you're so glad, and it's kind of a gift and curse type of thing because I know that you told me this that when your son graduated and you got him
Yeah.
situated, whatever, you was gonna move back into coaching in college, what have you. So hey,
Mm-hmm.
I keep up with you. I see he's doing well in the military,
Yes,
doing
thank
well.
you.
Yeah, he's doing well. So look, I assume as a parent, we're never done, but at least we got him on the right. You got him on the right track. You feel
Right.
comfortable that you kind of take your hands off him a little bit and say, hey, go on, into the world and be the great person you can be. And now you're able to, move into your coaching journey and travel. Don't have to worry about,
Yeah.
having a kid, and the
Mm-hmm.
responsibilities of that or what have you. So I know you're excited about that, Coach. Hey,
Yes.
once again on TaylorMade Hoops Coaches Corner, I got Coach Stephanie Cooper, head coach at University of the Virgin Islands. We're talking a little bit of basketball. Hey, Coach, I think I know the answer to this question, but the viewers may not know. Who influenced you the most as a coach?
Who influenced me? My coach, my first middle school coach, Coach Sport Smith. And then along the way, the likes of Kathy Self Morgan, Fred Williams, and his wife Bo Talley. Like I have a really good coaching group of mentors that I can kind of go to and call and talk basketball with. And so they just keep me going, keep me encouraged. My family, for sure. Uh, my mom, my dad, like my brothers, everybody, my whole family, my friends from college, because they've seen the journey too, like my sorority sisters.
Mhm.
So it's really funny to see back then. I was the only person like sports. And now I'll have like because of Asia Wilson and stuff like this with AKA and our sorority, like they'll text me random stuff and I'm like, I've been told y'all, like, but it's kind of full circle to see how I brought even people back then from college into the sports world and they really didn't understand, but to see the growth of the game now, like that's the true testament. To where we've come and where we're going with women's sports. And so that's kind of exciting. But yeah, my mentorship and I'm a lifelong learner. So going to the WBCA, being a part of like the Black Coaches Associations and those groups, like I'm always in somebody's professional development or looking at a coach's clinic or being there. Texas, we put on a show. You don't even got to go far for ours. Like we got the Dallas Coaches Association that does a great job at keeping people in the loop and having the camps and um who else is out there? Like the TABC
Mhm.
hoops. So all of those, I just like to still be in the know, and it keeps me uh grounded, but also the knowledge that I need to give back
Oh
to the
no, coach.
athletes from basketball. So yeah.
Oh no. No, hey, no doubt on that, coach. I got to tease you, coach, because I know when I used to be at some of the games, and we be at some of the games together, I would always see you. He's gonna get on you. I always see you with your dad. I know that your dad was
Yeah.
a big influence on you. So that's what I thought you would say. I thought you would say your dad.
Well, yeah, he was like he got me into playing because at first I was gonna go to football. I thought like I was gonna be the first woman wide receiver, all of that. So then, yeah, so when my mom and met my stepdad and they started dating, and got married, then he put me into like basketball. He was like with my brothers because that was big for them. And once I started playing basketball, then that was a whole. I used to whoop them. You know what I mean? So I was like it was different. So that's what got me into the game of basketball because I was out there playing football for real. Like I thought I was gonna do football. And yeah, and he
Okay.
comes to all the games. He's always there, biggest supporter. So yeah, that's true.
Oh no, I know. That's good to have, like you said, that
Uh-huh.
have that male, have that male influence in you, man, that got you going. But that's probably what you said, coach.
Yeah. And like you said, he always be at the games. He'll come, he'll watch, he'll support, especially playoff games. And it's like one reason why I've always played Pinkston, no matter where I went, kept them on the schedule was to honor him in a sense, because that's his high school, his alma mater. And the Pinkston alumni is like crazy heavy.
Yes.
So those are always exciting. But yeah, that's why I would always keep them on the schedule and stuff like that to honor those like my coaches and just the influences. But yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, all right, Coach Cooper. Hey, we're gonna talk a little bit of basketball, Coach. I know that you love to talk basketball, especially X and O's, Coach. So let me ask this, Coach. What is your offensive and defensive philosophy? How do you like to play out there, UVI?
So I'm in a unique situation because right now, uh, these are kids that I've actually just, recruited for to be able to run the exact kind of sets and offenses that I want. Um,
Okay.
and so typically in the past, it's been just kind of what I've been given and trying to coach them into that. So now we're gonna be scary on the defensive end. So we're just getting into shape and a different kind of shape, island shape, you know what I mean? To where we can really defend this 94 feet and like in their face, just diving like 50-50 balls is something that I stat in games. So like a loose ball, you know what I mean, situation that we should win or be cause so many jump balls and things like that. Like last night in the WNBA game, who was it? It's the finals right now. New York and the Lynx. They had like
Mm-hmm.
27 jump balls in the game. And that was, everybody was like, oh, you know, that's something that they noticed. They statted this morning that people are talking about. But for me, that's going to be like the norm for us. And so being able just to recruit the type of players for that. And then on the offensive end, really just transition offense. And I like just attacking downhill, having these kind of players that can finish like the open runs that we've been having so far. It's really been exciting to watch this team play because when they're in their groove, it's like the extra pass, you know, like just the flowetry of basketball and what that looks like. And not just, you know, they're coming over making like hockey type passes and then just finishing with up and unders. Like it's different. It's a different feeling that we have, but I'm excited to see it on the offensive defensive end. And then I actually have because I like, you know, pick and rolls into with our guards and fours, and the fact that I actually have that, like some good fours, and combo guards, stretch guards, like is it's exciting to kind of see the game that I actually can put in and play.
Oh yeah, and it seems like you're excited, coach. Like you say, as a college coach, it's always good, like I say, to get the type of
Yeah.
players that you're able
Yeah,
to
just
recruit.
fast
Because I
paced,
know when you
up
first come in the
tempo.
program, yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I'm just saying. I know.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
And a lot of them really say it again.
no, no.
Uh-oh.
I was just saying, coach. I know that you're glad to be able to get the type of players that you want coming in. You know, as a new coach, you finally able to get the player your type of players to fit your style of play. You're able to recruit those type of players.
Yes.
Coach, you still there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm there. Am I don't know, it's like glitching, but
Yeah, it was a little bit over here.
hold on, let me see.
All right.
Okay. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, I think it's good now.
You know why? If I can show you, I see why. That's one thing about being on the island. When it
Okay.
rains, it's like everything be going out. The internet gets shoddy, and I'm looking and it's raining right now, so that could be a little bit of it.
Hey,
And
but
the
you know, now
electricity just goes out. That's the island
yeah,
life over here.
but we coaches, baby. We gonna make it work. You coached and taught at Spruce High School, baby. So I know you know how to make nothing out of something.
Right. For real.
But now, coach, I was just
No,
saying before
that's true.
I was just saying, coach, that before we got cut off a little bit, I was just saying that I know that you're probably happy to have your players, the players that you recruited, finally, because I know coming in sometimes, you know, you got to inherit the players that may have already been there. So now you got, like you were saying, the players that you recruited. So now you can play more of your style of play, put your
Hmm.
input in.
Yeah. So that's been exciting. And that's one thing I really look at. Even right now with some of the evaluations that's been going on last couple of weeks. And I'm talking to these recruits and it's like, do you have the skill on both levels? You know what I mean? On both sides of the ball. Um, like I have a player right now, really good on offense, but she's lazy on defense, you know? And I just had to straight up tell her, like, I can't be able to give to you the big minutes that you want and that you should be getting because your man is able to come down and score every time. And it's not a, you know, defense for me is a choice. I'm choosing not to or to, you know, like it ain't nothing about it. Evaluation and going to go scouts, like those are the things I'm looking for. Who's that player that's just the coming from here to there, the busy, she's talking, you know what I mean? Like I like the taunting a little bit when you can do it and when you're locking up and you getting the turnovers and everything makes sense
Mhm,
for it.
mhm.
But yeah, So that is good to be able to have the players that I want for this program and for the offensive schemes and stuff.
Okay, okay. Well, Coach, we go move on to the question that, and I'm glad that I have you, so I get the perspective from a woman's coach. Uh, let me ask this, Coach. We're gonna talk about the present state of college basketball, the NIL, and the transfer portal. What do
Okay.
you see the
Yeah.
pros and cons of those things?
Pros, the NIL is good because there's a lot of student athletes, and now I have a few now too, that when you're in college, and we got to remember, like, if you didn't get no refund, I hope you had a good roommate, you know what I mean, or a job, but
Mm-hmm.
you had to be doing
Mm-hmm.
something to supplement. And that's
Mm-hmm.
their only form of income, you know what I mean? Especially like when their parents were already working hard and they sent them to college to be able to be like the first generation student. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times like this money, they don't have it. And so now if you can gain that and be the voice and the sponsorship and get paid. Plus, you're already doing it on social media with what they grew up on, so it's like a different type of mentality that they have. Um, and a bigger following they have. So yeah, use that influence to get it. And when we start knowing Ajay's, because they getting money like that, I can't even fathom because I'm like, where is it at for the coaches? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yes.
Like, put me in, let me know who could, I can come sell some furniture, some cars, whatever it is. Like, same with me. So it's like, if we had that same mentality, and I think when that could be a con to some programs, but when I hear NIL, I'm thinking like the ones that's actually the big ones that we know about.
Yeah.
But there are
Yeah.
some NIL deals on the smaller scale, like our level, NAIA, Florida Memorial, a few of my girls were able to get some NIL deals. And there it's still $100, $500 more than what they would have had if they
Yes.
didn't get, refunds and all that stuff. And so if you can go get it, go get it. And coaches, like the adults, should be able to help and advocate for them too, because I'm telling my girls, like, we're on the island, so we got to do it, but it comes to work, you got to have so many followers, you got to put yourself out there to even show like people do want to hear from me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a fine line as well. That could be a con, because now it's like, all right, am I just putting out content, or am I just worried about this just so I can get that? And you don't really want to
Mm-hmm.
start
Mm-hmm.
that, you know what I mean? Like battling or trying to sacrifice. Well, I need these, so let me do content every day just to get the followers up. Like, nah. But NIL, yes, good. Um, what else?
The transfer portal, Coach. I know your level. How does it
Oh,
affect you
transfer
on your
portal.
level?
Yeah, the transfer portal is good. I feel maybe, I'm old school, so loyalty, especially in my
Mm-hmm.
programs, and that's one of the first things I talk about. Just with the players I recruit and my staff, like everybody, just to have good relationships in life. You can't be for everybody in certain situations. And with sports and your programs, I feel that part. So when they're able to just jump in the portal or like been somewhere different because of if it feels hard or they didn't like the workouts or something like that, I think that just makes it a little soft for the athletes,
Mm-hmm. Oh
and
yeah.
their
Oh
thinking,
yeah.
and they're not able to really be like have that growth mindset mentality type, or that but I think we're moving away from, or this new generation, or not new generation, but
Generation we in. Yeah.
it's just a difference in the way you talk to people and how like they're just so take everything to heart,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's personal, or they're taking it that way. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, it's not even
Mm-hmm.
that. Like I tell my kids, it's a program, it's a business, you know what I
Yes.
mean, at the end of the day. And when that scholarship money is not offered, people, that's a misconception. You might have it for the year, but first semester, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, You don't get it second semester. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Um, and it's not year to year, and that can change. So it's like it's a business,
Mm-hmm.
and that's one thing I teach my student athletes because they're women now. So y'all got to be able to be out into the real world and advocate for yourself in these big Fortune 500 companies or whatever management positions and all that. So loyalty, again, you have to be able to show that you can work through adversity and not just jump, just because you felt some type of way.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
and and if it's growth, like with what's her name? Haley from uh leaving LSU to
Mm-hmm.
go to TCU. Like for me, that's a
Mm-hmm.
good business move. If you weren't getting the time or that type program wasn't fitting for what you do, or however people feel about it, but go where you're wanted and go where you can leave
Mm-hmm.
your legacy.
Mm-hmm. I
Those are the
totally
two
agree,
things
Coach.
that I say. Yeah.
Well, Coach, let me ask this. I know within the last couple of weeks or so, the NCAA came out. They announced some new changes as far as that's going to affect the transfer portal and probably NIL. Uh, let's talk about the
Mhm.
first thing, Coach. What do you think about the NCAA them eliminating the national letter of intent?
That's tough because how are you, so how would you regulate or how are we going to know? I mean, I guess it's okay to eliminate it, but that programs are still going to have it because it's a contract. So how do I know that you're really going to be here in the fall? You can say it, I'm going to go, but that's the only part. They
Mm-hmm.
may have eliminated it, but people are still colleges and campuses are still going to have something to implement like this
Okay.
is a contract. Yes, I will be coming, to your school.
Okay.
So it's a little, I don't know, interesting to see what that looks like.
No.
But it's still,
No.
yeah, every program, I mean, you're still gonna have to have it because we need to know. You need to know. Like, are you committed? Are you coming here or not? Same with your work, with your job. So it's like, okay, if I get hired, but y'all don't send me a contract, does that mean I'm still showing up on Monday and getting paid? Like it's a trust, like
There you go.
how do you, I don't
No, I got to
know.
hear that contract, Coach. Coach, like you said,
I
hey,
need
you
to
had that.
sign that, yes,
Yeah. Coach, you
this
had
is
that
my
contract.
effective start date.
Hey, Coach, you had that contract before you flew across the country to go come to UBI. Hey, it ain't like I'm just gonna show up and I don't have no contract. I need to
Exactly.
have.
Right.
I got.
Yeah.
Hey,
Guess we'll see.
no, okay, no, no. I was just saying,
My
Coach, that
connection getting shate.
I can hear you now. You good,
Okay.
Coach? No, I was just saying, Coach, now that you got to have some binding, like you said, I got to have some
Yeah.
binding. To know that you're coming, man.
Hmm.
Well, Coach, let me ask you about this, Coach. What
Right.
what do you think
And
about
they may have
the
eliminated it, but I'm telling a program still has to have, they're still going to have their own.
gotcha?
Is it good?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Coach.
I'm trying to get it. Okay. All right. What was the next?
No, I
Or
was
what did
just
you say last?
no, I was just saying, Coach, that you're correct that you got to have something that's binding, so I could know that you're coming and what have you. So I agree with you that most
Yeah.
schools are still gonna have something, in place.
All
Yeah, Coach, you with me? Cool. Uh,
right. Still here. Are you still here?
yeah, I'm still there, Coach.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm
All
still
right, I'm
here.
here.
All right.
Okay, okay.
Oh, yeah. So coach, let me ask this: what do you think about the new NCAA change where they are cutting the transfer portal window? The times the kids have to be in the portal or find a school or whatever.
With that time frame, because again, you don't, it just comes to commitment. Like, we need to know if you are not coming back, then we would need to know that as soon as possible, not later.
Still there, coach?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm
Your
still here.
network. Did you get any of what I said? I agree with that. We need it's the same. You need a time frame. We need to know sooner or later who's trying to leave or come in.
Yeah, I hear
That's
you.
just, yeah.
Oh no, no, like you said, coach. Hey, I need to know. I need to know as a coach. I just need you to communicate that with me. Like you say, it's a business, so it's nothing personal. If you want to move on, you think you have a better opportunity. Hey, I need to know as soon as possible so I can do what I need to do.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, coach. Once again on TaylorMade Hoops Coaches Corner, I got Coach Stephanie Cooper, head coach at University of the Virgin Islands. Just talking a little bit of basketball. Coach, you still there with me? I see. Okay, we got good connection now. Let me ask this, coach, in your experience as a
Okay,
high
good.
school coach, uh, in your experience as a high school coach, college assistant coach, and now a college head coach, what are some things you look for when evaluating a player or a prospective prospect? Do you look for the same things, whether it's a high school player or a college prospect?
They're different for high school. I mean, you're giving the kids, that are, because I'm not one of them. I never tried to recruit at high school. I don't understand. I mean, I get it, but no.
Gotcha.
So high school, it's more of having the kids who love the game and want to play, and honing their skill development all around. You're trying to teach them how to just be uh, a student, number one, in high school. And like, you just deal with so much more of the emotion parts of those
Mhm.
kids just growing up in high school. College, for me, it's recruiting um, student athletes that are ready and already have the
Okay.
balance of academics. You got to be high academics, especially with our travel schedule. Like, we're going to be, you can't be failing classes or putting things off and missing deadlines when our travel schedule is hectic. So I need kids that are high academics already kind of have that balance and know how to use their resources and manage their time wisely, number one. So that when it does come to basketball season and just our workouts, like, they're able to balance and do well with the schedule. Because we have like, there all these, they wake up, we have practice, they go to class, they got to do weights, they have to meet with like their tutors, study hall, individuals, eat in between, study. So it's a full-time job.
Mhm.
So that's big for me. Number one is to make sure that that kid understands that academically, and then that they're okay with the distance. So we are on an island. Yes, all of our games are stateside. We'll go to Alabama and Texas and Louisiana, Miami, or Florida. But they have to be okay with, leaving home. And same with the family. So like last year, I wasn't able to get a recruit because of the parents didn't want her to go be so far. And it's like, okay, if you have if you're able to get that experience and your school paid for, go study abroad, you know. Even here, I tell my kids too, if they have the opportunity and the time works, go study. Like, we have abroad programs during the summer and things like that that they can do. But distance, and then are you just skillful? You know, can you hoop for real? So that's like the last thing, but it's really just the character. Kid, are you a good teammate? Are you a good person to be around? Because we're around each other a lot. You know, a lot of them don't know. We don't know the people here on the island. I don't know anyone here. I'm only here for basketball and I'm only here for this program. So outside of this, it's, you know, getting to do new things, and every weekend, every day is a new adventure because we're going new places. But they have to be just good, kind, um, student athletes. So that's it. High academics, be okay with traveling, know how to hoop. And when I say know how to hoop, is just being coachable. Um, you know, you don't have to be the MVP of your team, but second team all around and honorable mention, anything like that. Like you got to be able to get a bucket though, you know, and be a good defensive player and have stops, something about some type of accolades. And even if not, it would just be me coming to the practices. But if they work hard, um, those are the things that I look for.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And something brought up, coach, that every coach I've had on said at the collegiate level is character. It's character. No one thing.
Yes.
They like you said, coach. They very rarely speak about for a skill level or what have you. They always
Right.
talk about hard work. Man, if I got a kid to work hard, and if I got a kid to got good character, because I tell players all the time, your character is going to take you farther in life than anything else. Your character, because people remember
Yeah.
what type of person you are, how you
Mhm.
acted, around them. So character is very important. I'm glad you kind of solidified that point that all the other college coaches been saying. Coach, character matters.
Yeah. It does,
Okay.
especially here because we're representing a country. We're the only HBCU in the Eastern Caribbean.
Mm.
Okay, people, that's a big responsibility. So when we go
Okay.
to these places, most, you know, the Virgin Islands is a dream destination to go to. And so when people were like, "Oh, y'all have a school," we got to be able to conduct ourselves and hold ourselves in a manner when we're going through the airport, or you know, when we're stepping into these other people's gyms and restaurants and just visiting their city. Like we're representing a whole group of people they may not have even heard of or known.
Oh, no doubt about that, Coach. Hey, once again on TaylorMade Hoops Coach's Corner, I got Coach Stephanie Cooper, head coach at the University of the Virgin Islands on. Let's speak a little bit of basketball. Coach, let's talk about the players and some of the things they can be doing. What are some things you feel players should be focusing on as far as trying to improve their game on the court that can make them a more recruitable prospect, Coach?
For high school, really watching film, learning from watching the game.
Okay.
So what are your tendencies? So developing your weaknesses. So if I know I'm a good 3-point shooter, putting in the reps and stuff for my mid range or my finishes on layups. And so really trying to focus on those weaknesses and develop those. You should be doing those, about like 70%. The things you can't do well should be about 70, really 80% of your workouts,
Okay.
you know?
Okay.
Because if I'm a good 3-point shooter and my coach, and I got it, like we do my shooters, my shooting guards, they got to make five threes in all five spots, you know, in a certain amount of
Mhm.
time. And so some of them, I've had a kid be able to get that done in like 2 minutes or something. And so like, and she can go. Well, she's not gonna be spending time on doing that most of practice. You know, that's gonna be quick. All right, you start or really end with these. So really just identifying by watching film, what is it that your weakness is, and just start. You don't have to do them all at one time, but really just develop them slowly, but have a plan, write it out, and like get those reps in.
Hey, Coach, you brought a good point, Coach, that kids tend to want to work on the things that they already are good at, that they already somewhat
Yeah.
mastered. where like you say, you need to work on your weaknesses, because I had another college coach say that find out what you do well, first of all, like you said, coach, and then try to master that, and then try to, like you say, work on the things that you're not
Right.
good at. But he said the same thing. You said, coach, that you should be spending more time on the things that you're not good at than the things that you are good at. Of course, work on those things so the skills won't diminish or what have you. You know, you can have those reps and muscle memory, what have you. But no, you should, like you say, coach, if you
Mm-hmm.
already shoot threes the whole practice, coach, you shouldn't be down there, you know, shoot threes the whole practice, man. Especially if you can't dribble with your left hand or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Well, coach, let me ask this, coach. Uh, what are some things that you feel we kind of talked about a little bit, but what are some things you feel players focus on too much?
Too much.
Yeah, some things players
Um,
focus on too much.
I think for high school, just being a starter,
Yeah,
you know,
I've heard that. I've
um,
heard that.
and
I've
it's
heard
like
that from a coach.
everybody wants to be, yeah, but a lot of times that six man or your the bench players, like they bring a different type of energy. So it's like
Hmm.
I don't believe in like just my weak players on the bench or whatever. And uh and they all bring something. So I think for high school that was it. For college, it is their stats. Like a lot of times they're like, "Oh, well, what were my stats? What were my stats?" Well, first off, did we win the game? How did we win or lose? And then
Hmm.
we can talk about your individual stats, because what if you scored 20 something points, you know, and we still lost. Like, yeah, that was good for you, but
Hmm.
what were some things that, or how could we have gotten you involved one still or whatever? Like, just for the greater of the team at the collegiate level is what I see sometimes. They can get caught up early on into the them instead of we over me, which is what a lot of teams try to develop in season. But yeah, that's it. Those are the two differences I've seen.
Oh yeah, and it really doesn't matter, coach. But like you say, you know, we tell the kids this, players this all the time. It's not who starts, it's who's finished. You may not be a starter,
Right.
but you may play more than the starter. But like you say, coach, just for strategies, or put starting off the game the right way, you may
Yeah.
start to pick the player, but within after a certain
Right.
amount of
I might
time,
need just
you
all
going
my
yeah.
bigs or
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So
Exactly, coach. Well, coach, man, we're down to the last question, coach. And man, it's been a pleasure, man, having you on here. Uh, I'm gonna ask you this question, because coach, you're a true testament of seriously, coach, of a young coach that if you want to inspire, want to grind, want to reach your goals, really you need to seriously, coach, the amount of time you have done this in, coach, you really do need to write a book, because what you have accomplished in your short 14-year coaching career, seriously, you have people that been coaching 35, 20 years that never accomplished what you already accomplished, coach. So seriously, this comes from a place of as a friend, but also as a supporter, somebody that admires your grind, coach. You know how I rock with you, coach. But let me ask this.
thank you.
Let me ask this, coach. Any advice for young coaches who are trying to move up in the profession to the college ranks, or maybe a assistant college coach who may be trying to move up to be a head college coach? Any advice, coach?
Number one is the loyalty to the program, not thinking you're too big for any duty or role or
Okay.
anything that the head coach is asking to do. I feel like a lot of young coaches, even my assistant coaches and stuff, that was something that they would struggle with um to understand really at this level. Get you a good group of networking and mentors. So join an organization that you can be, join organizations that like give you the professional development often, or like the videos. And because I'm always, if I'm not on YouTube, I'm always in like a coach's corner or something like that, just like looking at drills and listening to different things. So that's big for the assistants as well, as just honing their craft, but networking and getting in to certain organizations that will help them
Mm-hmm.
develop professionally. And like not passing up anything, give back to the youth and go work those kid camps. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
people just feel like they just got to be at one level all the time. But for men to kind of see the direction that the game is going, I got to go and work with the grassroots. It's big in all levels. So just those things. Get a good organization, get you some good mentors. Never be too big for any job or duty or laundry. Like I do laundry here, what I mean? Um, I've seen veteran coaches who they'll go and still mop the floors or sweep the floors before practice and stuff, because like that's
Mm-hmm.
just in them, but there's nothing too big. And just always support. If you're an assistant, um, or a trainer or whatever, be supportive with that head coach. And if not, go to a different program or go be around somebody different.
No, coach. Hey, that's great advice, and that's advice that I heard from other coaches. One of the things they said is that as an assistant coach, you got two jobs. And my man, JUCO coach told me this. It was funny, coach. He said you got two jobs, assistant coach. Number one, make your head coach look good and make their job easier. And number two, go get your coach some
Hmm.
players. So those are the two jobs,
Right.
as an assistant coach that you need to do. And I always tell the high school coaches, hey, always make sure if you're trying to move up, it's about players, what have you. So connect yourself, what you just said, Coach Cooper, with a grassroots program, an AAU program, whether or not you're coaching, with the team during the summertime, or you have some type of relationship. Because at the end of the day, we know what it's about, coach. It's all about players. When you hire an assistant coach, you of course you may care about
Right.
whether or not to know the game, but really truly, coach, as a head coach, you got all that figured out, coach. You need somebody to go get you some players, coach. At the end of the day, it's a players' game, coach.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Well, coach, I'm gonna say, coach, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate your time. Before we go, coach, go ahead and let everybody know they may want to follow the team, may want to follow you, may want to get in contact with you with any information that you want to give out, coach.
Okay. I'm on Twitter and it's at Coach S Cooper 23. Our program page is, and it's the same on Twitter, Instagram, UVI_athletics. So we're really trying to build and get the numbers up for this program. And I hope to see you guys stateside. We are in the HBCU Athletic Conference. So you guys can follow that and get our schedules from those places and come out and support. And if you have some kids you want me to look at and evaluate that want to come play island basketball, send them my way. And my email is stephanie.cooper@uvi.edu.
All right, Coach. Hey, and I can vouch for Coach Cooper. Like you said, hey, I hopefully she continues, to make us proud. And like you say, you always family, part of the TaylorMade Hoops family. Hey, I still tell everybody, man, that you work with us, that you're a player evaluator for me, man. Because anytime when I do need you, you will, help me out. So I appreciate you, Coach. I'm not gonna take up too much of time, Coach. You know how I feel
Yeah, and
about
vice
you, Coach.
versa. You
You
sent me some
girl.
kids already.
Hey, we got to do that, coach. It's all about players, coach. Hey, at the end of the day. Well, coach, before we go, I do this to everybody. Go ahead and let
Right.
everybody know who interviews you today, coach.
I was with Coach Edmund Taylor and TaylorMade Hoops.
Hey, I appreciate you, coach, man. I appreciate you, coach. Hey, much love, much respect. Hey, good luck on the season, coach. And hey, don't be a stranger, coach. I know the season get busy, what have you, but hey, I'll make sure I check on you, shoot you a text here and there, just make sure that you're okay, coach.
Yeah, I need my Texas family come out. January 18th, we'll be playing Wiley. So January
Okay.
18th, come out to Marshall, Texas. We play Wiley. My homecoming. I want to.
Right, Coach. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, we got a little flick. Okay, Coach. Yeah. For we got a little broke up a little bit. Coach Cooper said for all the
Oh,
for all the Texas folks, they'll be playing Wiley College in Marshall on January the 18th. So make sure we come out
yeah.
and support Coach. She'll be back home in Texas. So make sure we support our Texas girl.
Let's
Hey,
go.
hey,
Thank
appreciate you,
you.
Coach. Thank you, Coach. Hey, you have a good
Thank you
morning,
very
Coach.
much.
Thank you,
You
Coach.
too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.